Good evening, Shalom. It's Meir Weinstein with the Never Again live show. It's a pleasure to be here for you tonight. We're going to be talking about Al-Quds Day and our plans to combat it. First, let me ask all our viewers who's joining us, if you could please share this with the various pages and groups that you're part of. We'll reach a lot more people and have a stronger impact. Also, there's a phone in. You can call in tonight, engage with us. The phone number to call is 647-510-5535. Be a pleasure to answer any questions you have, any concerns you may have on this topic. Now, this past Shabbat in the synagogue, we spoke about the mitzvah of Kiddush Hashem, sanctification of the name of God. And the opposite also, converse, the desecration. A Kiddush Hashem today is when we hear of Jews moving into different parts of Jerusalem, in spite of all the incitement and anti-Semitism from those who want Israel destroyed. Jews moving into these areas with no fear, not backing down. A Hillel Hashem is when we hear of groups such as from our people, supposedly, J Street, J Space, If Not Now, Jewish Voice for Peace, etc., joining the BDS movement to defame those Jews and to call for the exclusion of those Jews from these neighborhoods. And their ultimate goal is, as they involve themselves and promote the BDS, is no Jewish state. That's a desecration of the name of God. Now, let me drive that point even further. And we're going to get into the whole issue of Al-Quds Day. And we're going to be showing some video, very shocking video of what's going on. We got a program also scheduled for Sunday. This whole weekend coming up is Al-Quds Day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, all over the world. There are protests in the streets in certain countries, and in other countries, they're just doing it online. So here in Canada and in a lot of parts of the States, it's online. So we're going to be having an event this Sunday, 2:00 in the afternoon. Why 2:00? Because there's a time difference also in Israel. We're going to have guests from Israel on the show. We're going to have people from the United States, people from England on the show, experts. And we're going to be exposing the lies and the hate and the incitement of Al-Quds Day, exposing those behind it, what their goals are, their ultimate goals, and that is to promote Hamas, Hezbollah, the Islamic Jihad, call for financial support, material support for those terrorist organizations, and at the same time call for an influx of weapons to them to be used against Israel. That's what we're going to be discussing on Sunday. We're going to be discussing some of that today also on our show. Now, just before we get into it, let me just find something here that I was looking at. It was very interesting that here in Canada, there was a debate going on with the Standing Committee on Foreign Affairs and International Development. And you had an MP from the Conservative Party, Garnet Ginos, who was reading chapter and verse from UNRWA textbooks that are being used and taught to quote, quote, Palestinian children in Gaza. And his point was that Canadian dollars are going to, millions of dollars from Canada, are going to fund UNRWA. And the hate and the incitement and the calls for the destruction of Israel and to train these children in these schools is going on using Canadian money, Canadian funds from the government. So Karina Gould, who is an MP from Burlington, she's with the Minister of International Development for the Liberal Party. When she was questioned, she identified herself as a grandchild of Holocaust survivors. So therefore, don't lecture me, basically what she was saying about hate and anti-Semitism. I know all about it. And I don't believe that UNRWA is in the wrong here. That was her point. To try to claim as a grandchild of Holocaust survivors that this incitement that was read, chapter and verse, calling for the death of Jews and destruction of Israel, and a fight, and also no to normalization of Israel, and speaking out against the Abraham Accords, no peace. That's being taught in the schools that this conservative MP was saying, and it wasn't just his words, he was reading it chapter and verse from the textbooks, from the school books, taught to children. And she says she defends it. I'll look into it. I'm working with UNRWA. So, what's going on this weekend for Al-Quds Day? What's going on is that you have these organizations, these BDS organizations, that support terrorism. No question about it. We've given the evidence before on our program. We've shown that the BDS National Committee, that in the committee, they have complete ties with Hamas, Islamic Jihad, Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine. And they are putting on these Al-Quds Day events. We have some video right now that we want to share with you. Current video right now from Islamic leaders stating exactly what their goals are for Al-Quds Day. Pay attention, watch this. We have different clips. We're going to show a clip right now. So our doctor in the studio, he's got it ready.
He's got it ready in the studio. I think I'm going to just define Al-Quds Day, because I'm not sure how many members of our audience might not even appreciate what it is, where it came from, who invented it. So I'm going to do a brief little 5-minute introduction, and then we'll go to this Islamic scholar who discusses his false impression of history and the world. So
absolutely.
Let me find this first. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of Al-Quds Day, and basically the origin of it. First and foremost is it really is a celebration of hatred. I mean, there's no other way to look at it other than that. And then we'll get a response from both Zaza and from Meir, who back in Toronto in the studio. So where does it come from? What does Al-Quds mean? Al-Quds basically means the holy in Arabic, and that's what they're claiming refers to Jerusalem. And where do they get that from? That Jerusalem's never mentioned any time in the Quran. But it is referred to. "142 times in the Gospels, 641 times in the Tanakh, but never in the Quran. No mention of it." So they're saying today in rewriting history that that's what they mean by Al-Quds. It means Jerusalem, which it doesn't. So the Temple Mount, a little perspective from a photographic expert. We know what the original Temple Mount was. And if we go a little forward to the desecration of it in our homeland, but we look to the future, and thank God for our recent administration, because instead of rebuilding it, they thought they would just perhaps go and modernize it, bring it up to speed. So here we have back to the concept of what does Al-Quds mean, and who started this anyway. So if we go back to the celebration of hate, back in August of 1979, Khomeini, and not the present Khomeini, but a previous Khomeini, declared that the last Friday of Ramadan is when they're going to declare officially that all Muslims on the planet should decide to destroy the Jewish state. It's against Israel, against the Palestinian state, and most importantly, against Jerusalem. It was founded by Khomeini, who, by the way, is the leader of the 1979 Iranian Revolution. Nice guy. According to the New York Times, he's quoted as saying that democracy is equivalent to prostitution. Shows his opinion of democracy. So we move ahead. Who is this Khomeini guy? Khomeini. It kind of gets me confused as to what his name is. But these are some of his quotes. The danger posed by the usurper Israel and how we attack his brothers and sisters. He doesn't seem to do too much for the Palestinians either. And if every Muslim throws a bucket of water in Israel, Israel will be washed away. We must all rise, destroy Israel, and replace it with the heroic Palestinian nation. Again, this is what Al-Quds Day is all about.
So it was November 4th, 1979, when the Islamic Republic of Iran stripped 52 Americans, their freedom, their dignity, and their pride.
52 hostages were held for 444 days in Iran.
So moving forward, Jimmy Carter tried, unfortunately unsuccessfully, to rescue those hostages. The outcome of his failed rescue mission was the death of 8 American servicemen and the resignation of the Secretary of State.
They brought Iranian women to the front door and used them as shields as they broke through the American embassy. So I will never forget.
They knew we wouldn't shoot a bunch of women. Perhaps we need to think about it again next time.
And obviously what still goes on to this day.
And then a new president comes up, President Reagan, and miraculously 20 minutes later, all of the hostages were freed. So it shows, strong fist. So these are just a few of the organizations internationally which have induced Al-Quds Day. Of course, it's a little list, it's hard to see, but trust me, it's from all over the world, every country in the world. The only place it's been banned is in Germany, where they're not allowing Al-Quds Day celebrations, because they're trying to bet 1,000 Germans associated with Hezbollah. So moving right along to bringing us up to speed.
The children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside.
How much they love their children.
Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to.
Peace will come when the Arabs will love their children more than they hate us, which is what Golda Meir said, and is quoted in her autobiography of having said that. I prefer a powerful and proud Jewish state that is hated by the entire world, as opposed to an Auschwitz that's loved by one and all, which Meir Kahane had said. Some of the festivities and parties going on. So what do you think the message is from Al Quds Day? It certainly isn't a day of reckoning or a day of peace. It's a day of terror. Okay, and back to you guys in the studio.
Yeah, it's a day of soliciting support for Hamas, Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad, Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine. The list goes on of terrorist organizations sworn to the destruction of Israel. These BDS groups and these radical Islamic leaders are trying to get their communities, trying to get as many people as possible in the West to support the destruction of Israel, to send people there, to send money there, any kind of material support and weapons. Some of them are very clear that they're saying it on videos even today, to even send weapons to Hamas, Hezbollah, and Islamic Jihad. We do have some video on that, in fact. We have very explosive video. Everyone should see this, should pay attention.
The support of firstly recognizing that they are doing what's right. When they launch rockets from Gaza against the Zionist entity, who is in the right and who is in the wrong? The Palestinians are in the right. The world should have stopped the Zionists when they committed the atrocities. That should have been considered terrorism. That should have been considered violation of human rights, and so on and so forth. Not the response to that to retain and regain lands that actually belong to them. We need to firstly recognize that the Palestinians are in the right. Hamas is in the right. Hamas is not a terrorist organization that should be sanctioned and the people of Gaza sanctioned. The Zionist regime is a terrorist entity that needs to be sanctioned and needs to be taken down.
Yeah, so he's very clear. Do we also have the clip how that video started, where they're?
We do have that. Let me pull that up for you.
Okay. Yeah, this is very important.
Very,
Yeah.
very peaceful. Wow.
Listen, that is the central message of Al Quds Day.
Yeah.
And our community has to understand that. And when our people are unified, as they were in 1948, to really say never again, because the entire world turned a blind eye while Hitler was murdering and massacring millions of our people, and the world would not allow Jews to escape and flee to their countries, including Canada. The policy here in Canada was none is too many. we have to understand that there is a motivated group out there, BDS, radical Islamic organizations, and some of them consider themselves not to be radical at all, that embrace
Right.
some of these speakers and do not denounce that, for instance, that Islamic, who they call a scholar, that calls for the eradication of Israel. We have to fight back, and we have to use everything at our disposal that we're good at. Everyone is proficient in something, and if everyone lives up to their potential of what they're good at, together we can certainly get through this. And Israel is very successful in many fields. They'll be even more successful with a united front against this hate, and we have to take it seriously. And when we hear that there are, let's say, progressive Jews or Jews to the left in our community that have some doubts, well, what part do you not understand of financing and giving weapons and trying to surround Israel with the objective of destroying Israel? What part of that do you not understand? And if you want to run from that and embrace that BDS, whose goal it is the annihilation of Israel, you have to be exposed, and the community must know of you. There's no question about it. There's no ands, ifs, or buts. There's no, because you were born Jewish, we're going to embrace you no matter what. No, there were couples during the Holocaust.
Absolutely.
And they were not embraced. But the excuse for the couples could be that it was under such duress.
Well,
Where's the duress
whatever,
today?
right.
Where's the duress
Exactly.
today in a Western society to embrace these people? You're going to see at some of these Al-Quds Day events, they're going to bring up such progressive BDS Jews to say, we got Jews on our side. They're out of the fold.
Meir, you know what, folks? We've encountered these Al-Quds people numerous times for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And of course, under the guise of, it's just, Zionism. We have Jewish friends, yada, yada, yada. It's funny how every single one, not just in Toronto, though, around the whole world, it starts off as, this anti-Zionism, crap. And then all of a sudden you start really hearing the real truth of how they feel.
Yeah.
Yehud, it's the nastiest stuff you can hear, folks, honestly. So if you're out there and you're like, oh yeah, but they deserve this and they deserve that stuff, whatever, make no mistake about it. It's not about nothing but hating the Jews. And that's what this whole Al-Quds event is around the world. It's about destroying Jews and throwing them, just like back in the 48, 49, whatever. Throw them into the sea. And every single leader of these hardcore Islamists have said the same thing. It's about destroying and killing Jews.
Yep. But Jews have stepped up to the plate. And in spite of the remnants of the Holocaust moving to Israel,
right?
There was this compassion from the Arabs, as Ilhan Omar will try to mislead people that the so-called Palestinians they helped the Jews.
Yeah,
of the
they
Holocaust.
embraced it.
Sure they did. Sure they did. Right. Right.
Yeah. As if this hatred wasn't there before 1948.
Yeah, but there's violence going on right now in Jerusalem.
Every day,
Jews are being attacked, and it is concerning, and it's concerning to Jews who live there, obviously, but the Jews are the majority there in Israel, and the army and the police, they're using a lot of restraint.
Too bad.
That restraint one day will no longer be so restrained. Israel's a Jewish state. Israel has reached out to have peace with all kinds of people, and the Arabs inside Israel reach out to them. Some Arabs want to stay in Israel and support Israel, but there's a lot that don't. They'll be exposed, and Israel's not going to roll over for anyone that wants Israel destroyed. There's no question about it. I'm in touch with a Jewish family that recently moved into a neighborhood in Jerusalem that's being attacked right now in what they call East Jerusalem. I mean, first off, there is no East Jerusalem.
I know.
It's one Jerusalem.
Right.
But being attacked, it's like living in a community in Toronto or New York or whatever, and they don't want Jews moving in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or those kind of Jews moving in.
They're trying to intimidate them, and exactly.
Yeah, so they're firing at the home.
Yeah.
They're firing at the home. I do have 2 more. Well, let's go with the clip of this imam.
You read my mind. How'd you know I was thinking about that?
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's show the scholar again.
Yeah.
Not religion. The Jewish race, whenever they want to cause corruption in the world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Isra, I encourage everyone in the month of Ramadan to read that chapter. After explaining that they were told in their book, that لَتُفْسِدُنَّ فِي الْأَرْضِ مَرَّتَيْنِ, you're going to be causing corruption in the earth twice. And every time you do that, we will send our ibad, we will send our slaves, we will send our servants to destroy you. After going through that and explaining the 2 times that was mentioned in their books, and then it says in their book again, وَإِنْ عُدْتُمْ عُدْنَا, if you do it after those 2 times that we've already told you, if you do it again, we will come back to you with عِبَادًا لَنَا, with servants of ours that will come and destroy you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُخْلِفُ الْمِيعَادِ.
And then we have another short little conference I thought you might enjoy also. Let me see if I could find a clip from that.
It's amazing. Facebook allows people like that on to preach this hate.
Yep.
That's shocking. That's shocking.
At
That
least
Facebook allows it.
But at least you know what? He's got enough guts to not hide behind the anti-Zionism. He says it.
Oh, here we go. Look what it says. Formalization of
I mean, the title says it all. Even if you don't, normalization with Israel is a betrayal. That's a betrayal. That's obviously Saudi Arabia doesn't seem to agree, nor do several other Arab countries. So I think they're jumping on the bandwagon.
Right.
The Palestine Foundation और साबिर अबू मरियम साहब का तहे दिल से मशकूर.
Now these videos are out there. They're current videos to promote Al-Quds Day. So if anyone has any doubts what the intention of Al-Quds Day is, this is it. It's blatant. It's in English. We're not translating it. It's in English. They're calling for the destruction. They're clear about Jews. They're not hiding behind the Zionists, saying Jews, the Jewish race. So we have an event on Sunday. We have good people from England, parts of the United States.
It's going to be a good show, folks.
Western Canada, in Israel. We're going to be tackling Al-Quds Day with all these people. It's going to be a 2-hour show. And at a certain point, we'll allow people to call in to ask some of the guests who are speaking questions or comments. But it's very important that we tackle this Al-Quds Day head on. We're not backing down. We've never backed down. I've been fortunate to lead rallies here in Toronto, out west, Western Canada, organized them against Al-Quds Day. I've organized in New York City as well against Al-Quds Day, other places too. I've worked with people. We had in England also. We managed to get it done in England. Also, we had contacts there. So, it's very important since it's online now because of COVID. We're going to fight it as best as we can. It's a phone in. Please call the show if you have any questions or comments. Phone number again is 647-510-5535. Phones are ready. We're ready for you. Let's see any.
Mayor, do you remember some of the comments that they've chanted over to us?
Well, fill them in.
One sticks out really, really well was Jews go back to Europe. Now, for some of the naive out there, you might just think, that's where some people think that the Jews all came from and went to. No, that's not what they mean. That's not what they mean. Because when there's no cameras around, they'll chant exactly what they want. It means go back to Europe where the ovens are waiting. We've had these lowlights scream over to us, go back to Europe where so we can finish the job. So when you have some of these left-wing progressive Jews that are on their side, trying not to look shocked when they hear these chants from their buddies. When are you going to wake up?
There's a comment here. A comment here from Deborah says, I fail to understand how any rabbi cannot support Meir and the JDL. Well, let me just inform you. Many rabbis do support, okay? Who I know. Many rabbis. I have a lot. There's a lot of support from top rabbis, the top of the top in Canada. That's there's no question about it. So I just want you to know that. But we have a lot of work to do, and there's a lot of work to do to speak to people in the community. A lot of people are complacent.
Yeah.
It's not happening to me directly, therefore, why should I? But we're all on the same boat. And we all have responsibilities for each and every one.
Of course. Eventually, it's going to affect you. You watch.
No question about it.
Maybe, you know what, maybe you're on the front line like we are. When we've encountered them, it's gotten very, very physical. We've had some great times, when that's been going on. Really good times.
Yeah, and we never back down.
Never. But, they're coming into the neighborhoods. We had some morons a couple of years ago, last year even coming to the neighborhood, knocking on Jewish doors and yada, yada. We have these low lives spray painting, these
anti-Semitic graffiti in the Jewish community. Listen, we'll catch them.
We will catch
them. We will catch them, and we will physically hand them over to the police. So we won't have a problem with that.
No,
we will use necessary force
to
restrain them and hand them over to the police. There's absolutely no question.
Absolutely.
I have a short video of Khomeini threatening. Well, let's go for it. Our doctor in the studio. Let's do it. Got that video? Perfect.
گاهی سردمداران رژیم صهیونیستی ما رو تهدید هم میکنن، تهدید به حمله نظامی میکنن، اما به نظرم خودشون هم میدانن و اگر نمیدانن بدانن که اگر
Hey Sam, just hang on 1 second. We're just going to clip.
جمهوری اسلامی تل‌آویو و حیفا رو با خاک یکسان خواهد کرد.
Okay, we have a call on the line. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
It's Sam Fishman from Calgary.
Hi, Sam.
I think last year there was something that we could send into City Hall here.
Right.
To explaining and asking them to stop the rally at City Hall.
Right.
And I just wondered, is there anything you sent out for this year that would go to City Hall that
I'm not so sure right now. Actually, if there's something happening in Calgary on the streets, I'll have to check on that, double check tonight. I know there's some plans for Edmonton. I'll get the information for you tonight.
You mean physically they're going to be out there?
It's possibly in Edmonton, but then all of a sudden I heard that Jason Kenney said that they're going to have a lockdown there. So I don't know. So
yeah, I'm not sure. Usually Don Sharp is in touch. So. Right. But if there is, I do get your mailing. So.
Right. Well, and I'll get it to Don as well, who's an excellent guy.
Oh, yeah.
That has led led the counter protests against
He's one of the
Al-Quds.
best.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, one of the
Terrific.
best.
Yeah.
One of the best.
Fantastic.
Okay, anyway, good show.
Thank you very much for calling.
Thanks, Sam.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, if anyone has any calls or questions or concerns, the number is on the screen, 647-510-5535. Yeah, and the program for Sunday, it's going to be at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so we could allow our guests from all over the place,
Right.
especially Israel, because it's a 7-hour difference. And, so it's going to be 9 o'clock at night in Israel.
Folks, please share this message over, because I don't know how many times, we have to warn the Jewish community to wake up. So maybe if you pass this around, maybe somebody will wake up. I don't know what it's going to take, Meir, honestly.
Well, we've
been at this you've been at this for forever.
For a long time. But, there's a lot of Jews in Canada now that for a variety of reasons. One is COVID-19 and handling of it here and all the ramifications, what it meant to people, and the rise of anti-Semitism. Many Jews now in Canada are seriously considering moving to Israel.
I know.
It's going to be a blessing that they're going to come there with their businesses and
absolutely
everything else. So it's going to be a phenomenal for a big boost. And there's a lot of Jews in the United States that are thinking the same thing. So with the rise of anti-Semitism, there are consequences also to the haters. You want to boycott us? Well, we're going to go and strengthen Israel, make it even better.
In the meantime, though, while you are still in Canada, in the US, help us out.
Yeah.
Go get some martial arts training. Go get your gun license, by all means. Make sure it's all legal and stuff. You never know. Get ready. Get prepared. It's getting bad every day. In Baltimore, that poor guy from Israel got murdered.
Yeah.
He was stalked by 3 scumbags.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gary. It was by 3 scumbags. He flew in from Israel for his cousin's wedding.
Mm-hmm.
He was just getting home. It was around midnight, and they were chanting and they were screaming all kinds of anti-Semitic. The cops, for some reason, tried to bury it by saying it was a robbery. But you know what? Nothing was, strangely enough, nothing got taken from this guy. This guy had a wallet, he had a watch, everything else.
Yep.
Nothing. It was because he wore a kippah, he had a beard, and he was murdered like a dog on the street.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Get ready, folks. Come on, it's happening every day. In the meantime, in Israel, I was just reading that they think about sending all the extra vaccine they have to the PA.
Oh, really?
So
want to help them? People that want the Intifada.
I don't get it.
Want to help them?
Sure. I don't get it. Let's make some of these people that are terrorists, make them healthy, so they can throw a Molotov cocktail a little further or stuff. Oh man, we gotta go there. Really,
we'll be there.
Knesset. Really. Make it
We
right.
have some good people in the Knesset right now.
We do. They need help.
It's Meir Ben-Gvir. He's doing a terrific job. People around him, 100%. They're speaking the truth, and whatever way, right now. Bibi, he doesn't have the mandate to set up a government, so now it's with Lapid. It's going to go nowhere. So because no question about it. Because who is he going to make a coalition with? With the Arab List for Peace? On paper that sounds like a nice thing, but the problem is that the Arab List for Peace party supports the Intifada. In fact, Ayman Odeh was very clear about it. So, obviously you're not going to be able to form a coalition government with, how? How?
Anyone that does, you're a traitor. That's just treason.
It's not going to happen. Not going to happen.
Gross.
Okay. Already in Bennett's party, there's one member of Knesset that said, made a statement today, released a statement saying that he's leaving the party because of, you're going to work with this person and that person. Forget it. I'm not there. I didn't run on that ticket. That's it. So, it's interesting times, but at the same time, as Itamar Ben-Gvir and the Otzma Yehudit, they keep spreading the truth. They're saying the way it is, and and he's a lawyer, and he's saying exactly what has to be, and he's going to get more support because people are seeing No one's really talking about these issues, how they should be talked about. Where's Bennett, Mr. Right Winger? Where's he in the oldest to talk about
what happened to this guy?
issues? I don't know.
You know, he used to say the right stuff. Now does he just want to be like a professional politician
Not
forever
sure.
or something?
Really don't know.
He'll lie in bed with anybody now.
It's a mystery. Who
It's
Who knows? But we do know that certainly the way he is conducting himself, he's going to lose support. As he just lost an MK, so he'll lose support. But people that are speaking the truth, like Itamar Ben-Gvir, and let's face it, also that the Orthodox community is the fastest growing demographic in Israel as well, and many of those who want to move to Israel are religious Jews who want to move to Israel. It's a community that's being ignored. The CEO now of El Al, Israel Airlines, is a religious Jewish guy. So there's like a change going on. So on the one hand, the country is becoming more religious. They'll say to the right, no, more Jewish, and it's that base that supports the Otzma Yehudit party. So they're on the rise. They get it, and that's what's going to be. So it's everything's great, and
it's getting better.
We see a lot of noise from the BDS and those who support the destruction of Israel, but in Israel, the Jews they're not leaving. They're not going to jump into the sea. They're not going to do that. They're ready to fight, and they prefer not to. But there's certain, whatever BDS haters are watching this show, let me just explain something quickly to you. The show is called the Never Again Live podcast, right? That's what it's called. I mean, never again means never again. We're not marching to the gas chambers. We're going to do everything we have to do to be safe and secure and strong. And we're going to use every single means at our disposal. We set records as a people for Nobel Prizes and medical advancements and all kinds of advancements. We're setting records also in military equipment and technology. We know what to do. And with your primitive, animalistic ideology of anti-Semitic hate, you outnumber us by a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And we win all the time. And in 67, we won in 6 days. And on the seventh day, we rested as God gave us the Sabbath. Believe me, we know what to do.
Meir, right on. BDS and all these other groups, they're nasty people. You know what's their biggest fear? People like us.
Yeah.
Because Otzma Yehudit, they're just like us, these people.
Yep.
That's the answer. That's the answer for people like us to move to Israel and to go and to meet these left-wing professors at these universities who are brainwashing students, also in the States and Canada too, not just there, but to really confront these people.
Yeah.
To really confront them. And that's the answer. We're their nightmare.
We had
the show is their nightmare.
Yeah, we had Baruch Marzel from the Otzma Yehudit on last Sunday, and he said they're starting a new movement in Israel as well called the Kahana Was Right movement. Now,
absolutely,
what was people who say they don't like Kahana and they make all kinds of things up. The videos that we show you, I would love it if major Islamic organizations would denounce Al-Quds Day, would denounce these Islamic scholars that call for destruction of Israel, that speak about the Jewish race should be decimated. I would love it if Islamic organizations, major ones, would come out with statements, and mosques and Islamic leaders come out and denounce it all over the place, across the board. But where is it? Where is it? And what are you supposed to think? And if they're not going to, and they're going to support Hamas, Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad, and the ultimate goal, the destruction of Israel, exactly where was Kahana wrong in identifying the problem? He said what the problem is. He didn't have Facebook back then. He didn't have where you could just show these videos just like that. We're showing it. This is what's going on. And we do recognize, as Baruch Marzel said, who's a follower of Rabbi Kahana as well, said on our Sunday show, that there are some Arabs. He said not all want our destruction. There are some that no, they're for Israel to exist as a Jewish state, and they want to live in Israel, and they want to thrive in Israel, and we're all for that. And we're all for the Abraham Accords also, working with these Islamic countries. But there are problems there, and when there are groups that support Iran's ambitions to surround Israel on all fronts with weapons of destruction, that's the goal.
That is the goal.
And whoever supports that, we're against. So if you're for an intifada within Israel and a military plot against Israel, surrounding Israel just picture this. Israel gives up Judea and Samaria, and you have Hamas there, and they're firing weapons. Where are they firing the weapons? From the mountaintops. Tel Aviv, the airport, Netanya, everywhere. So, Israel has to be strong, and we got to speak the truth. And we got to call out these organizations, liberal Jewish organizations, that got duped by the BDS. And
but they got to wake up at some point, though.
They got to wake up. They think that they use terms like human rights. But it's absolute nonsense, because the people that they're embracing will not denounce Al-Quds Day.
Right. How many quotes do you need? How many videos do you need that have been altered? Whatever they record, we show you. For you to wake up and see what's going on and what their end goal is.
Not hiding anything.
Enough.
Not hiding anything. Anyone has any questions, comments, please give us a call, 647-510-5535. How much time do we have here? Oh, okay. Well, we're running down almost an hour we've been on. So I believe we have a very nice song to put on. I mean, it's a sad song too, but we like to show a song on every show. For Yom Ha'atzmaut, we had a more upbeat.
Okay, let me get that up. I'm going to show it, and the interesting thing is the person singing is pride and joy. That's what we like to aspire our children to be: musicians, doctors, rabbis, as opposed to those who want to get rid of us and lower the bar. This is more of what they're looking for their children to be. They're proud of these pictures. I mean, it's hard to fathom this. Or this young guy.
Yeah.
So let me go show you how we like to brag about our children.
כשהלב בוכה, רק אלוקים שומע, הכאב עולה מתוך הנשמה. אדם נופל לפני שהוא שוקע, בתפילה קטנה חותך את הדממה. שמע ישראל אלוקיי, אתה הכל יכול. נתת לי את חיי, נתת לי הכל. בעיניי דמעה, הלב בוכה בשקט. וכשהלב שותק, הנשמה זועקת. שמע ישראל אלוקיי, עכשיו אני לבד. חזק אותי אלוקיי, עשה שלא אבחר. הכאב גדול ואין למרוח. עשה שיגמר, כי לא נותר בי כוח.
I don't know what he's singing, but you can do no matter what, you know.
I do.
What a great voice that guy has, that kid has.
Yeah, those are, that's what we aspire for. That's what the Jewish people aspire for. Children like that with a song that have a voice singing Shema Yisrael, words to Hashem, to God, for the Jewish people. That's our pride.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at the pride of the other side, kids joining Hamas, wanting to kill Jews.
Become a martyr.
It's like the Hitler Youth.
It is exactly like the Hitler
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And
you know what, man? We would never put our kids in any danger. We would stand in front of them to take the hit, to take
100%.
the bullet. These lowlifes, these scum of the earth, are so opposite.
Yep.
You know, they brainwash the kids from they start having teeth and hair, to hate Jews, to go and murder.
Yep.
You know, when you die, you know, it's greatness and everything else. Our kids, when they go to school and they get great grades and so on, that's greatness. They get a great job and get married and have kids. That's greatness. You know, it's opposite with these people that want to kill Jews. I hope they all get brain aneurysm. I don't care. I do. I don't care anymore.
Now, okay, so the event for Sunday, we're going to really push it. It's going to be at 2:00 Eastern Standard Time on the Never Again Live show. Whether you use Facebook or whether you use YouTube, it will be on 2:00 in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time. I just want to, because of that tape that's pushing Al-Quds Day, if we could show that segment again of this animal, any clip, because this is current. They call him an Islamic scholar. No one's denouncing him in the Islamic community, and he's on Facebook promoting it. Just, watch this, internalize
the support of firstly recognizing that they are doing what's right. When they launch rockets from Gaza against the Zionist entity, who is in the right and who is in the wrong? The Palestinians are in the right. The world should have stopped the Zionists when they committed the atrocities. That should have been considered terrorism. That should have been considered violation of human rights, and so on and so forth. Not the response to that to retain and regain lands that actually belong to them. We need to firstly recognize that the Palestinians are in the right. Hamas is in the right. Hamas is not a terrorist organization that should be sanctioned and the people of Gaza sanctioned. The Zionist regime is a terrorist entity that needs to be sanctioned and needs to be taken down.
Oh man, it's so difficult to listen
go.
to that lowlife, man.
And he's not alone. And they call him a scholar and they embrace him. They embrace him. He's in the United States. He goes to England. He's embraced by
thousands
Islamic leaders there. They're into it. And Al-Quds Day has the support of many in the Islamic community. So, we have to recognize that we're fighting a new form of Nazism.
Yeah.
And the same goal. We thought that, after Hitler was defeated, that was it. It's not it. But there is a glimmer of hope that we do have the Abraham Accords. We do have some countries that want to have peace with Israel and the Jewish people, and they recognize the IRA definition of anti-Semitism. That's very important. But, the Facebook, the founder of Facebook, he's Jewish. And why is this hate and anti-Semitism and incitement to terrorism and promotion of Hamas, Islamic Jihad, Hezbollah, and terrorist organizations allowed on this platform? Why? Why is that? Why is Al-Quds Day allowed on Facebook? It should not be. This is not an issue of free speech. When somebody wants your total destruction and annihilation and in the name of anti-Semitism, it's not free speech. There are laws there on the books against hate and incitement, and these organizations are terrorist organizations. So therefore, you're actually aiding and abetting terrorism.
Sure you are.
That's what you're doing.
Sure
so
you are.
Facebook is giving a platform. Hopefully hopefully there could be some lawyers that will take sufficient action against Facebook. That it should be like the Lawfare Project. They have to be alerted to this. I will certainly make sure they're aware of it, and others to just get to the bottom of this and not allow it. These lawyers are working hard as it is on other cases, but they have to be aware of this now because there has to be action. It's got to be stopped. Certainly that these, when Al-Quds wants to be online and use these platforms, they should be denied these platforms. No question about it.
Why does it have to come down to that, though? Why does it have to go? We got to get lawyers. We got to do this. It's sad. Yeah. You know why? Because Jewish people are so nice. Maybe it's time to stop being so nice. Yep. We've seen a protest, Meir, across the street. The cops have come over to us numerous times and said, turn those speakers down and whatever.
Yep.
So okay, we'll turn it down if they turn it down. So yeah. But the other side, as soon as they get, louder and violent, they get their way.
Yeah.
Is that what it's going to take?
Yep.
Does that mean that we have to become the same way then? I don't know. Maybe. I'm not saying it's what we have to do, but you sure do see the signs where the more violent you are, the more radical you are. They get their way. It's sad.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's time Jews stop being so damn nice.
Well, listen, we're not going to be stepped on.
No, we're not going to be stepped on.
Not at all. We're not going to turn the other cheek. We're not going to be stepped on. The message is, our message has always been consistently clear. When an anti-Semitic bully wants to try to do harm to you or to our people, hit him back.
Break his jaw. Whatever. It's enough. It's enough.
Because,
wake up.
We're not doing the first blow or anything. We don't want it. We don't want the fight. But if you're going to start attacking and you're an anti-Semite and it's already a hate-motivated crime, we're going to do whatever it takes to subdue you and then turn you over to cops. That's the way it is. That's the name of the game. I want to thank everyone for watching, viewing. Please share this with different social media platforms. Reach a lot more people. Until Sunday, we'll see you Sunday. Please spread the word. It's going to be a dynamic program. A lot of great people on. 2:00 Eastern Standard Time.
Let's counter the Al-Quds this weekend.
Yes.
With people sharing. This platform, of course, right here, folks. If you don't want to come out and protest and that sort of stuff, that's okay. A lot of people say, I want to help out, but I want to come to rallies and whatever. And please share this. Let's get ready for Sunday. It's going to be a big show.
Absolutely.
Let's counter those low lifes, and let's show them that we're united. All right. And BDS, we're coming for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And BDS stands for Hamas, Islamic Jihad,
absolutely,
and Hezbollah. No question about it. But we also reverse it.
That's right.
Buy Israeli products.
Donate and support. Absolutely. That's how we defeat these low lives.
100%.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all. See you all Sunday. Please share this video so we can get the word out for the big.
Shalom.